For my first pick and the second overall of the Sunday six-pack, I am going to go with the let's get ugly here. Let's go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that nobody wants to bet right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers at BetMGM right now. Pull the lines for BetMGM. 2-point underdogs. Pittsburgh +2 at home against Indianapolis. Look, you were driving the bus. This Steelers team was a fraud, overrated, flawed at 11-0. They had no explosiveness. They couldn't run the ball. The offense was just yeah. And they played 7 backup quarterbacks too in 14 games. The defense is obviously great, but there was a lot of things not to like about this Pittsburgh team. But everyone was talking about undefeated season, Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And now no one wants to bet them. Everyone's saying, are they going to win another game? They're not going to win a playoff game. This team shouldn't be in the playoffs. It's 180. I've bet the Steelers this year straight up 0 times. 0 times in the year. Now it's time. The market has gone completely the other way on the Steelers. It's time to buy them. It's time to buy low after that embarrassing loss to Cincinnati. And if you're wondering, Mike, this is your classic Mike Tomlin spot. I mean, if you want to look at coaches, if you want to look at teams as underdogs, playing teams that are above 500, Interactions Lab database since 2003, Mike Tomlin the most profitable. He's 24-9-1 against the spread as an underdog against winning teams. This is your rah-rah spot. Us against the world. Everyone says we suck. I don't think that there's anything different with the Steelers. Like, they're playing a little worse. But I knew that this offense had huge issues. And I knew that there was some regression coming in the turnover department. And the defense has a couple injuries, but this offense is what it is. This defense is what it is. The Bengals game, they were getting blown out. I mean, they had 3 turnovers in their own territory. The Bengals still only had 150 yards through 3 quarters. Let's cool our jets on the Bengals. But this is a Colts team that I'm also not a believer. And by the way, this line was – the look at them is Pittsburgh -3. And then you have that loss, and now you're getting 2. It's a 5-point swing. That's a massive swing. Steelers +2 at home. I mean, we're basically saying to the Colts, I have about 3.5 points better than average. We're basically saying like the Steelers now are an average team. I mean, if you say home field is worth 1-ish, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, they all of a sudden people went from Super Bowl now to they're just dead average. This is still a really good defense. This is still a great spot. And it's still a Colts team that I have questions about. Their offense has been meh. And if you look by a few different advanced metrics, the Colts have faced the 3rd easiest schedule of pass defenses in the past 30 years. Overall, if you look at DVOA, they've faced the 32nd ranked schedule as far as difficulty of defenses. So their schedule's been extremely easy, and the offense still hasn't done much. Their offensive line is meh. The running game is meh. It's just an average offense, and the defense has been sliding since a really hot start. So I think this is a great spot, a great Tomlin spot. You're also outdoors in the cold against a dome team. Steelers, look, let me paint a little picture. 2012, the Ravens, my Ravens lost 3 games in a row, weeks 13, 14, 15. They got trucked at home. I was at the game, week 15 to the Broncos. The market was selling them. Joe Flacco, this Ravens team stinks. Well, the next week at home, they were playing the Giants, who were also playing for a playoff spot. The Giants won the Super Bowl the year before. Giants needed a win to get into the playoffs. This is week 16. The look headline was like Ravens -1, Ravens get trucked. The Giants -2.5, -3. Sound familiar? Ravens win by 20. Ravens don't lose again that year, win the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying that the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl, but these things happen. They've lost 3 games in a row. The market is completely bottomed out on them. Teams are never as bad or usually never as bad or never as good as you feel. So, yeah, give me the Steelers with I still make them a slight favorite here. And I downgraded them after last week, but too much value to pass up here. Great teaser piece, too.
Yeah, I like it. We did kind of point out early on when the Steelers were still kind of riding that hot streak that, hey, the offense was struggling and they have, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than losing to the Bengals by double digits. And on a let me say it again, on a nationally televised game, on the most recent game, that we have of the week still until, we get to this Friday, Saturday games. I think that the market just hasn't, it's kind of overweighting it. It's recency bias. The Pittsburgh offense is going to struggle, but by no means is this offense good. And they're going to, like, at this point, this is really what they feel they have to do. Like, they are going to throw a ton of short passes. They're not going to run the ball very much or very well. But I agree. The Colts, you have kind of that same situation with Rivers, where just like the Steelers can turn it over a ton and lose to a team like the Bengals. Philip Rivers always liable to turn the ball over. Remember, he's still playing through that painful toe injury. And the Colts, both of these teams have faced the two easiest schedule of opposing. Both of these teams have faced the easiest schedules of opposing defenses, and the Steelers also have faced the second easiest schedule of opposing offenses. So wondering real quick your thoughts on the total on this game. I'm thinking there actually may be some value on the under, but you kind of did hit on, like, the Colts defense hasn't been quite as good, but they're still number 5 in weighted DVOA. Any thoughts on the total real quick?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I think that it's about right. The one good concern I have with the Steelers is their defense it's a short week. Their defense has been on the field a ton lately. Is there some fatigue there, especially in the second half, potentially? And then also with the Steelers offense, like, look, we were saying, look at their first down, look at their success rate on first down. Look, we were saying this early in the year that their offense was a little flawed, but obviously it's looked way worse lately. Why? Well, they've had a lot of drops. They had fumbles, bad snaps. So, like, there's some regression coming for the Steelers offense. It'll look like what it did early in the year. It's still a flawed offense, but it's not as bad as it's been over the past few weeks. I mean, they've had 20 drops, it seems, every week. So that's not going to persist. So maybe you get some regression in that department. So, yeah, for those reasons, the total's probably a pass to me. But hold on, what was one other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, that's all I was going to say. Yeah, just the side for me. And I'll have a piece of the side. And also, like I said, I teased the Steelers up over a touchdown here, which I love. I mean, you can tease them to +8, and I make them a small favorite. So basically just buying low and getting value after what we saw last week. And it's not, look, I mean, the Colts, too, have won. The only two above average defenses the Colts have faced are the are the Bears and the Ravens. That's it. And they did nothing. Like, you look at the success rate, the yards per play under 4, did nothing against either defense. Steelers defense is obviously on par there. This is outdoors in the cold. You'll get an angry Steelers defense here in a great Tomlin spot. So buying low, this was Steelers -3 before this week. If it was Steelers -3 after the Steelers beat the Bengals without a bunch of fluky turnovers, I wouldn't be betting it. But you give me 2, here we are.
Yeah, I'm right with you. It looks like we both have the line at Steelers -1, and that is after downgrading them a ton because they are, they have suffered some injuries on defense. They aren't playing as well. That's clear, but yeah, definitely expect some regression from these Pittsburgh Steelers, who are still number 1 overall in weighted defensive DVOA, and they are top 3 against both the run and the pass. They're number 1 against the pass. And their pass defense is still it's 21.7% better than league average. That's it's double the. Let me make sure I got this. Oh no. That's double more than all but one team in the league. Only Washington has a defensive DVOA at number 2 at -15.8. That's even within. That's even less than double of the Steelers against the pass. So. Like them against Philip Rivers, and like the Tomlin spot here. So I'll be on the Steelers as well.